watching UNO with Dr. Ambrish Saxena.
Hello students, today is Tuesday 22nd of October 2019. Today we will try to understand further the electoral process in India and the issues related to electoral reforms. As you already know that the polling happened for the assembly seats in Haryana and Maharashtra yesterday. But along with these assembly elections, by-elections also happened on 51 assembly seats and 2 Lok Sabha seats. By-election happens whenever a vacancy is created in Lok Sabha or any of the Vidhan Sabha. How the vacancy is created? Suppose an existing member, a sitting member dies, or if he resigns. Vacancies can also be created if the sitting member is found ineligible for his or her position. How this happens? Suppose some election petition has been filed against that member and the court gives the judgment wherein his or her election is held null and void because of the irregularities. Also, the vacancy is created if the sitting member is convicted in a criminal case and the punishment is given of 2 years or more than 2 years. And this ruling came in fact from the Supreme Court in 2013 in a case which is known as Lily Thomas versus Union of India. In this case, the Supreme Court held Section 8(4) of the Representation of Peoples Act 1951 unconstitutional. This section prescribes that if a sitting member is convicted, then he or she was being given 3 months' time to make an appeal to the superior court. Means if the conviction has happened at the lower court, then the appeal can be made to the high court, and if the case has been lost by him in the high court, then the appeal can be made to the Supreme Court. So that section was scrapped by the Supreme Court in its judgment. Now, if we look at the percentage of voting that happened yesterday, the turnout in Haryana was 63% and in Maharashtra it was 56%. This is a very, very low turnout. But then as per Indian law or the election related rules, there is no provision with regard to the turnout. This means whatever is the turnout, the election is held valid. If I give you an example, in 2017 in the Lok Sabha by-election in Srinagar constituency, wherein Farooq Abdullah won the election, there the total turnout was 7% and Farooq Abdullah got elected. Now, looking into the aspect of election expenses, if we refer to Rule 90 of the Conduct of Election Rules, it prescribes a ceiling on the election expenses. For Lok Sabha it is 70 lakhs, for Vidhan Sabha it is 28 lakhs. And the lowest limit has also been fixed. In the case of the smaller Lok Sabha constituencies, it is 54 lakhs. In the case of smaller Vidhan Sabha constituencies, it is 20 lakhs. Interestingly, there is no ceiling on the election expenses of political parties. Now, looking into the aspect of the casting of vote. Earlier in India, ballot papers were being used, but since 1998, EVMs, electronic voting machines, came into practice. The elections of 98, 99 and 2001, the EVMs were used partially. From the general elections of 2004, these EVMs are being used in the entire election process. There are controversies on the use of EVMs. So, there is another technology which has been introduced, which is called VVPAT, that is Voter Verifiable Paper Audit Trail. Now, this is being used in India in few of the polling booths. Last year, opposition parties collectively decided to challenge the EVMs and the use of VVPATs, and they appealed to the Supreme Court, and in April this year the Supreme Court judgment came which says that in every assembly segment the counting of the 5 booths VVPAT is to take place. Earlier this was 1 VVPAT in 1 booth. Now coming to another story which is also related to elections. Yesterday not only the voting took place in India, voting also took place in Canada. In Canada 43rd general elections are taking place, and there the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is in fact contesting the election for the second time. He is in a way seeking referendum for the second time because lot of controversies are surrounding him. I will tell you about 2 major controversies. Last year Justin Trudeau visited India. That was his first ever visit. One official function was organized in Mumbai wherein one Indian origin Canadian businessman Jaspal Atwal was invited. This person, Jaspal Atwal, was convicted in Canada in 1996 for an assassination bid on an Indian leader which he attempted during the days of the Khalistan movement. Another controversy happened which is known as brown face controversy. This is related to a time when Justin Trudeau was a teacher in a school in 2001. There he participated in a party which was on the theme of Arabian Nights. There he painted his face, neck and hands black. Now to tell you about the constituencies in the Canadian Parliament. In Canada the lower house is called House of Commons. Like in Britain it is called House of Commons, in India it is called Lok Sabha. And how the constituency is created? This is called district electorate and it's called in fact riding. There are 338 seats in Canadian House of Commons and the distribution is depending on the size of different provinces. The biggest province in Canada, Ontario, has 121 seats, whereas the British Columbia has 42 seats, and the smallest province, which is Prince Edward Island, has only 4 seats. Now the parties which are in the fray. So the ruling party is the Liberal Party, to which this Justin Trudeau belongs. In a main opposition there is a Conservative Party which is headed by Andrew Scheer. Now what are the issues involved in election? The major issue is the economy of Canada and also the jobs, the state of the employment in the country, and all rival parties, they are giving this commitment to the middle class, then they will create more jobs and they will take care of the economy of the country. Interestingly, there is no debate on policy issues. It's the same as it is happening in Indian elections. Now let us see what will happen, whether Justin Trudeau will be able to retain his position or he will be defeated and Andrew Scheer will take over as the Prime Minister. That is all in today's edition.